Hi, welcome to PrimeTime Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and in today's video, we're going to go over a specific way how you can beat the bangers, okay? These are players that like to hit the ball really hard from the baseline, and in a previous video, we actually talked about one of the ways you can beat them by softening up your hands and trying to draw them into the court, okay? And this is the second thing that you can do to neutralize bangers and to beat them when you get on the court with them, okay? So let's jump right in. All right, so when we're talking about neutralizing bangers, most people are talking about the players that like to hit the ball hard and drive the ball from the baseline, okay? And a lot of beginner and intermediate players, a lot of times they have a hard time handling these balls that are driven really hard at them, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a specific way, and I'm gonna give you some tools that you can do to maybe help that and also to neutralize that pace and neutralize their speed, okay? So in a previous video, we talked about how you can soften up your hands and maybe just block the balls short, maybe into the kitchen, to draw the players that like to bang the ball hard to draw them into a dink game. Now, that's one way to beat them, and if that doesn't work, you're going to need to learn how to volley hard and volley deep into the court, okay? So this is really important. If they're serving and you're the returning team, you're coming in and they're just blasting hard balls at you, you really want to be able to volley that ball deep and volley it hard, okay? You want to keep them back. The last thing you want to do is pop it up into what I call the dead zone. So if you see these cones right here, I have some cones set up. If I'm blocking these balls, if they're driving it at me and I'm at the non-volley zone line and I'm blocking balls high in front of these cones, okay, short, if I'm blocking them high, what do they do in a real game? They just tee up and get ready, and they're just gonna blast it again and keep hammering you with these drives, okay? What we wanna do, what we wanna make sure we do is we wanna volley that ball deep and hard, and one way we can do that is adjusting our grip pressure, okay? So I wanna talk about that. When we're blocking balls and we're trying to have soft hands at the net, our grip pressure is gonna be, anywhere from 3 to 5. It's gonna be pretty loose. But now when we're talking about players driving the ball hard at us from the baseline, okay, there's a lot of time, there's more time we have that they're blasting that ball because they're way back there. So what we want to do when we're at the net here, we want to tighten up that grip pressure, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow that ball to have more pace as I volley it back, okay? The grip pressure is going to be anywhere around 7 to even 8, 9, or 10. We really want to have a solid volley, and one thing that's really important, that we really want to extend our volleys, okay? If we just keep our paddle right here and our paddle motion is not a solid volley extending through the volley, it's not going to really go anywhere. It's just gonna block, and then it's going to go over and it may pop up, and then they could drive it again. So it's really important that when you volley, you really push that ball out and you have a pretty tight grip pressure, anywhere from 7 to 9, okay? So I have my friend Danny here. What he's gonna do, he's gonna serve, okay? And then I'm gonna return and he's gonna try to drive the ball, okay? He's gonna drive it. As I return, okay, I'm gonna try to come up, and I'm really wanting to not have my volleys inside that dead zone area where he could drive it again. I really want to keep it at his feet, okay? I want to keep it deep, and I want to make sure my grip pressure is closer to a 10, and trying to extend my volleys at his feet, okay? So yes, in a real game, you're serving cross court. Just for this drill, just for this example, he's gonna serve it. I'm gonna return and come to the non-volley zone, and we're just gonna play it out like if we were just playing just skinny singles, like half the court. All right, here we go, Danny. All right, So yes, I know that he's driving the ball right now, okay? So some of you might think like, oh, sometimes they drive it, sometimes they drop it, okay? If you're always ready and expecting the drive first, okay? If they drop that ball, it's a slower shot. If they hit a third shot, drop slower, then you'll always be ready. But the first thing you want to always be ready for, especially when you're playing against bangers, okay? We really want to always be ready for them to drive the ball. And if we're ready, especially if they're back there like this scenario, we want to be ready and ready to volley and extend our volley and push that ball with a very tight grip pressure. Okay, here we go. Good. All right, so we'll see it one more time. Here we go, Danny. Hit the return, short return. Okay, so I hit a pretty short return. He actually had some good spin on that, and those are the balls that are going to get driven at you. Okay, short returns. Obviously, yes, number one, we want to get our returns as deep as possible to make it harder for them to drive the ball. Okay, if you have a short return, that's another thing. Okay, if you know your return is short and you know that the players you're playing against like to drive the ball, you have to be ready for a fast ball. You have to be ready for a drive. And what I did is I try to come up to the non-volley zone as much as I can, okay? And I want to make sure I'm stopped. That's number one. Number two, I got to be ready for that. As he drives the ball, I got to be ready to really push that ball and make him pay for driving it, okay? I can't just hold my paddle here with no movement on my paddle, because it's just going to block and it could potentially pop up. So it's really important your grip pressure is tight, and I'm really extending this follow through, keeping it deep at the feet. Okay, one more time. Oh. Okay, so that was a good one. I mean, that was a really high drive, so those definitely should be put away. Okay, but keep those things in mind. Okay, tight grip pressure, remember that, number one. Number two is you really want to extend that follow through on those volleys. Okay, if you're just blocking and you're not having any movement, no forward pushing movement on your volleys, that ball could potentially pop up. Okay, I know they're hitting it hard and that ball's coming at you fast, but that's something you have to anticipate, especially if you run into players that like to drive the ball a lot. Okay, so thank you for joining us in this video. I hope it helped. Go out there and practice with a partner. Maybe get a partner out there just driving balls at you, and just practice really connecting out in front, connecting on your volleys, and hitting nice solid volleys back deep into the court so that you can make those bangers pay. All right, thanks for joining us in this video, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Thanks for watching. For more pro player pickleball secrets to help you play your best game, please visit PrimeTimePickleball.com. You'll find a clickable direct link in the video description below. But before you head on over there, please be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos.